Hi, it's Father's Day, June 2008, and I'm sitting next to my son Reed. I'm Jerry Floren, and this is Reed Floren, and he has given me a tremendous Father's Day gift. He's got me started my own business, and he's got me growing a list, and right now it's right around 4,000 people, and it's really changed my life, hasn't it, Reed?
Oh, definitely.
I've just been amazed at really how easy it is to make money once you have a list. And you've been telling me this for a long time, and in fact, I spend a lot more time in it and you'd like me to cut down a little bit. But basically what you do is you cut and paste an email that someone gives you for a product that they'd like you to promote to their list. And then you just put it in your Aweber account, press the send button, and off it goes. And it doesn't take any longer than sending out an email on Gmail or Yahoo or any of the other email services. It just goes to 4,000 people instead of one person.
It's pretty much copy, paste, send, and you're done. It's a lot easier than going to a bank or going to the ATM and taking out money of your own account. You just copy, paste, send, and money shows up in your PayPal, in your ClickBank, whatever you're using to promote different products on the internet.
And you get checks from people too. I'm waiting for a check from Russell Brunson. I've promoted him a couple of times, and that's worked really well.
Hey, you've done very well promoting Russell.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of different sales come in for that. And then you had another promotion recently that did really well.
Yeah, and what was so nice about that is that it had a bonus. So if you sold $500 in sales, they would give you another $500. And that was Keith Wellman's. He had a great product, and he's still promoting that. And we'll probably send out another email on that later this week. But it is really a nice product.
So already on that one promo, you've made over $1,000.
That's right, and it took me 2 days to get there.
So basically, you just sent an email out to your list.
Yep.
And you made over $1,000 from doing not very much work. I mean, really, it's only a few minutes of work to send out an email to your list, and you can make a lot of money.
That's right. And if you make a product of your own, it gets even better, because then you can send that out and have other people send it out. I wrote my book starting in why don't you hand it to me, Reed? It's right there. Starting your own internet marketing business, and it's actually an e-book, and what we did is just put this on the cover of a library book, so it looks like a real book. And it goes out, sells for $27, and then we did a video like this, and that package together goes for $47 with the video and the book. And I think I've made about $1,000 or $1,500 from that. I can't remember.
I think
sold
you've
over 30.
Haven't you made a little bit more than that? I thought you made close to 2,000.
Yeah, I think 1,800 actually, something like that. So that's how you make money. You don't need a product like that. The main thing you need is to get on a list. Once you have a list, you'll have no trouble finding people that want you to promote products. Then you just pick the one you think will be best for your list and send it out, and you go fishing or do whatever you want to do, and come back home and see how much you made.
Now, a lot of you might be wondering, how do you build a list? So how did you go about building a list of 4,000 people?
Okay, well, I think the best way to do it is you can have a little product. It doesn't have to be very big. The one I wrote was the 7 Secrets to Building a List, and it was about a 12 or 15 page product. But there's lots of things you could do. You could do like a video interview. You could do something like how to put stuff on the web. Anything that you think an internet marketer might want to learn how to do. And the good thing about it is that while you're doing that, you'll learn yourself. So I think kind of the 3 keys. Anyone can write a report that tells what you need to do. You know, that's a pretty easy thing to do. And then I think the next step is to tell why you should do it. That kind of builds some desire and makes people want to do it. But really the key thing is to go the step farther, and this is what so many products leave out, and tell how you do it. So that's what I always try to do is tell what you need to do, why you should do it, and most importantly, how you do it. And really, you can just do a short, 10 to 15 page report. Then you've got a free report that people will want to have. And when you have that, you can ask them to leave their name and email. And what you have to do is set up what's called a squeeze page. And that's really a very simple thing. It's just a simple 1-page thing that has like a headline saying, learn how to build your list, or how I made $575 in one day. It can be any headline that you think would be good for your product. Then it has a short description describing what the free product is. And then there's a few bullet points, like maybe 5 or 6, saying why it's good. And then the very last thing is very important. It's the little box where people leave their name and email. And for that box, you have to have an Aweber account or some other autoresponder. We recommend Aweber, and so do most other marketers, for a lot of reasons that we won't go into. But anyway, you just have that report. And then there's a lot of ways you can get people to look at that squeeze page. I just learned about something from Russell Brunson. He said the number 2 best way to get people to look at your squeeze page is to actually put classified ads on eBay. And I haven't tried that yet, but that's something I really want to try. And I think his number 4 or 5 way to get traffic to it was to write some articles. And when you write these articles, you'd write something that would be kind of related to your product, your giveaway. And then there's a biography box, and you can put your name and then a link to that page in that biography box. And then people will see that article, and they sometimes get posted all over the place. They'll click on that link and go to your squeeze page. Then when they read your squeeze page, they'll want the report, so they'll leave their name and email address. And then the next thing they have to do to get the free report is they'll receive an email from AWeber saying to confirm it. And then they click on the link in that second email, and then they get their free report. And that's really as simple as it is to do. And another free report where you can actually make some money on that wouldn't be difficult is if you set one up either recommending a web host account or an autoresponder like AWeber. You could actually put links in there where if someone bought through your link, you'd make some money on it. So that'd be a way you could start making money right away just with this free report that you're giving out.
So they could basically put a link in their free report, and they could make some money
Exactly.
promoting other people's products.
Yeah, I think HostGator pays $50 for everyone that signs up from your link, which is pretty nice. And AWeber pays so much per month, and I believe it's $3 or $4 per month for every person.
It's $3.99.
$3.99 a month, so it's just about $4. So you get a few people doing that, and then you get your web hosting and your autoresponder actually free just by having people sign up under you.
That's a great way to bootstrap your business and really grow.
Yeah, exactly. I feel kind of sorry for people that spend thousands and thousands of dollars to get started. And the way Reed started, the way I started, we really started with not investing any money at all. And once we started earning money, I've bought quite a few products since I started earning money, but it was coming out of the profits that I'd already made. And Reed doesn't buy anything anymore. People just send him stuff. He got a big package the other day like this with, I don't know, a dozen
Yeah, I think
CDs
it's like
or DVDs in it. Just shows up in the mail, and that happens a lot with him. He has
I
more.
sometimes buy products.
Okay,
Very rarely.
Yeah.
Usually if I buy something, it's something that I don't have an existing relationship with the marketer for, and I want to use that particular tool. Usually it's like a software program in my business, and I want to use that for something. Not, it's not like some information package where I might learn how to make more money. Because really, the secret to making more money, regardless of any product that you see, the secret is getting more eyeballs to whatever you have to sell. So getting more people on your list or getting more people to look at your product, and that's going to help you make a lot more money in the future.
Yeah, the one thing that is, I think, a stumbling block for a lot of people coming on you is that they have to set up a web page. And I know that kind of kept me back from doing it for a long time. And I had some experience, with Word and Excel and even Access. And if you are used to any of those programs, there's nothing to putting up a website that's any more difficult than them. It's just like any new program. You have to spend a little bit of time learning how to do it. And in my book, I've got some great resources. There's a HTML editor called Composer. You can get it at www.composer.com. And that works very well. I put up a very complicated sales page with that, and really didn't have too much trouble. And you can spend a little bit of money and get a better product. Dreamweaver is a good product for a few $100s. And then the next thing is you need to transfer the files you create to your website. And I use a free program called FTP Core, and that's just a dream for me to use. It's as easy as transferring stuff from one part of your hard drive to another. In fact, I think it's easier. It's actually easier, I would say, than using a couple of Explorer windows or something like that. It's certainly not difficult at all to do that. Another program that you need is a program to convert your files into a PDF format. And in my book I mentioned one called, let's see, it was a PDF 995.
Yep.
And that's a great program. It's free, and it's so easy to use. It installs really easily. And to convert your file, all you do is click on File, Print, and then instead of selecting your normal printer, you just select PDF 995 as the printer. And it prints out the file you're working on to a PDF file. And then you can transfer that PDF file using Core FTP Lite right to your website. So it's really not that difficult. It might take a couple of days to figure out how to do it. But there's so much help that's available both on AWeber and HostGator. Both of those services know that if you don't succeed, you're going to stop paying for them, and they bend over backwards. They have chat lines where you can chat with them. I had a question, and I spent probably 30 minutes on both of them the other day trying to figure out how to add people that weren't under me to the service, and I think I found a way to do that. So they will try really hard. They have emails that they send out, especially AWeber is really good. And I'd recommend if you're at all interested, sign up for AWeber. Go to aweber.com and get on their mailing list and just check out their website. They had some ideas I thought that I hadn't even thought about for, we always think you have to do everything online. And what I learned from a AWeber site is that you can attend meetings and have business cards with your site on it and talk about it. You can actually get quite a few people to sign up that you meet face to face. And I think you could kind of do the same thing if you put like posters around and had little things that they could tear off and kind of describe your business and the free report they'd get. I think you might get some pretty good response that way, and it wouldn't really cost you anything at all.
Yeah, that's a great idea, especially if you're going to like various business seminars, conventions, like MLM groups. If you're going to things like that, bring some business cards with and have a link to your website on there, and you could build your list and start promoting internet marketing products or promote other products that might be of interest to those people.
Yeah,
that's a wonderful idea.
Yeah, and they even talked about like if you're a business owner, like say you have a restaurant, offer to give away free lunch, and then have people leave their business cards and maybe take something of yours showing the free report they'd get. Like they would have to sign up to win the free lunch. So that's another way that if you have a business, and if you have a business, you're making a big mistake if you don't start building a list around your business customers that are coming in. One thing I heard in Michael Brunson's report that I thought was so interesting was there was a pizza place, and they ended up being contacted by someone that was doing websites, and they decided to try websites and see how it worked for them. So he set up a website, and then he got them to get a list. And they built this list, and they'd send out a promotion, and their business just increased dramatically. And so they talked to the guy that set up their list for them, and I think they had 900 customers on their list. And the guy suggested that they put in 2 phone lines and have one phone line just for the people that would be calling because they were on the list, and the other phone line for all the other advertising they did, whether it was TV or radio or in the newspaper and the phone book. And what they found out is that they had a ratio of 4 people calling to every one. It was 4 people calling for the promotions they sent on the emails compared to 1 person from all the other advertising combined. And you think how inexpensive it was. The way they got the people to leave to give them their email address was they just said, we'll give you a free topping on your pizza if you give us your email address. And that was all they had to do. So
talk about a return on your investment.
Yeah, it was like quadrupling their business and hardly paying anything, just a little extra toppings.
Well, speaking of lists, let's talk about how much like an average subscriber's worth in our realm, in the internet marketing niche. So I don't think we've hit on that yet.
No, and I know for a long time you've been telling me it's about $1 per person per month, and I was kind of skeptical, but actually I've been doing that and probably just a little bit better.
Yeah, I'd say you're doing somewhere between $150 and $200 a day, just promoting to your list. I mean, sometimes he has days where he doesn't do well, and other days, it's like Keith Wellman, where you promoted his thing and you made over $1,000 from an email. That's all he did.
And how much did you make during that time?
From his promotion, I made over $4,000, and then I promoted another thing in that same email series, and that did about $2,300.
Yep.
From there.
And how much time did you spend doing that?
A couple minutes.
Yeah, I know. I
copy paste and send, and I'm done for the day.
No, I spent a long time agonizing over the emails. I wrote a lot of copy, explained a lot of things, why I thought it was a good deal, and I did have a good return. It was well worth my time.
It was well worth your time.
I'd do that for $1,000 any day, and it really gives me a good satisfaction because I feel like I'm kind of connecting with the people that are in my group. That was one thing I hadn't really expected would happen. And I've really been enjoying it. I've been sending a lot of emails. I've been chatting with a couple of young men in India. I think we've got our first joint venture thing lined up. They're going to make a product for me, so I'm really excited about that. And one guy just out of the blue sent me a book. He said, he inscribed it. He said, Jerry, a special let's see, what
Special
is it?
book?
A special book for a newfound friend, and signed it. So I thought that was really nice. And then another person sent me a 3-page letter. And those are things you don't expect. It's so easy to send an email, but when someone takes the trouble to send you a gift or write you a letter by hand, it just really kind of touches you and makes you feel good. And we also got an invitation to visit someone in Sweden and stay in their guest house.
And you've gotten a few phone calls from people.
Yeah, I've been getting phone calls.
Better.
Yeah, and I've got an interview tonight with someone that wants to know how I'm doing this. Then he's going to post it on his blog, and that's the way that he'll create a product. So it's I guess one thing that I really have been enjoying has been the product creation, because it kind of gets your creativity going. And there's so many things you can do. I mean, you don't have to write a book. Or if you write a book, you can do so much more than a regular print book. I mean, I could put in like a Camtasia part showing how you do this or how you do that, and I think I'll probably do that in the next one that I write.
Definitely. Anything that you do to create products in this market, you can reuse over and over again. For instance, let's say that you get the private label rights to an ebook, and maybe that ebook has 100 pages, and it's all separated out into various chapters. Well, what private label rights let you do is you can take the content and basically put your name on it so it looks like you wrote it. So basically you take that content and then you could make a few changes to it, or you could take that and put it into maybe a PowerPoint presentation, and then you could record yourself doing that PowerPoint, and that could turn into a big multimedia product. You might be able to do a little bit of tweaking to that and turn that into a big home study course that people, instead of paying maybe $20, $50, $100 for an ebook, they might be paying $500 or $1,000 for this course that you just did a little bit of work to make it a little bit better, a little bit bigger, and a little bit more interesting, so you could convince people that it was worth the extra money, and people will line up and they will pay that money if it's something that's of interest to them.
Yeah, and we were talking about that little free report. Just a private label product would be something that you'd use for a free report. And I think you'd want to be selective. And sometimes you cannot give them away as a free report. You have to check and see what your rights are. Sometimes they have to be sold. But there are some that are available that you can give away free. And
there's a lot of things you can give away.
And a lot of times you can take one of those and just slightly modify it. You could take a video and write down what they say, and then you've got a book or a report. So,
and for instance, the other day I rewrote a couple articles on how to set up squeeze pages. So I had these rights to these articles. They were private label rights articles. I rewrote them a little bit. It took me, I'd say, it was about 15 minutes per article that I rewrote. And then I put those up on easyinarticles.com. And each one of those articles has brought in, I think it was 20 to 25 clicks per article that I put up. So I got about 50 new visitors to my website, plus new content that I can use in products, for building my list. I can turn those into videos, I can turn those into audios, I can do whatever I want with those articles I wrote, and it establishes me as an expert on squeeze pages when, yes, I did know stuff on squeeze pages, but it would have taken me a lot longer to come up with an article like that from scratch.
I heard about someone that I believe is in 3 different niche markets, and he's writing 3 articles per day for each of those niche markets. Well, you can see how easily it would be to grow a really large list when you get the results of even just 5 or 10 names per day, because these articles keep on going. I don't think they shut off in time, as far as, some point down the line they'll be obsolete, but you may get 5 or 6 months or a year off of one article, maybe longer. I don't know how long it will
Yeah, I've had articles that have had thousands of people read them.
And if you get even just a percentage of those clicking on it, and you think if you can generate 9 articles in a day, that's a lot of traffic. Now that seems like a lot of work if you were doing it from scratch, but if you're doing Reed's method, where you're just taking an existing PLR product and turning it into an article, and like I say, it could be another article that you're rewriting, or it could be a video, or it could be a PowerPoint Camtasia thing with sound. There's all sorts of ways you can convert these products around and make them your own. Mm-hmm. And I can't believe, I don't think we talked about giveaways, did we?
No, I don't think you did.
That was the one way that really grew my list quickly, is giveaways. A lot of times you need to have some names on a list before you can participate in a giveaway, so that's something to check. But they aren't very selective about how few names, I don't think. So you may be able to just get some of your friends to sign on, and maybe get some of these other tips. Maybe get a list of 200 or 300. I think that's about all I had when I started with giveaways, was about 300. Mm-hmm. And participating in some giveaways that grew up to my
It's
4,000.
yeah, you done like 3,500 to 4,000 just from giveaways.
Yeah. So the giveaways are certainly a good way to go. And if you have a back-end product like my book or video, you can make more money at it, but you can still make a lot of money just with that simple free page report. You don't really need to have the back-end report.
Yeah, the money is in the list.
Yeah.
You don't need your own products. You just need to build a list. You can do anything you want to do online and in the real world just by having a list. Pretty much what I do all day is I will copy and paste an email and send it out, and then I'm done. My dad can attest to that. He sees me out and about all the time.
Yeah.
I'm doing whatever I want to do all day long just because of the power of a list. And I want to thank you guys because you are what enables me to do that. So I really appreciate that, and I thank you for being on my list. But basically, that's how it works. And I don't want to come off as braggadocious or that I'm better than anyone. This is just a secret strategy that we're basically unveiling, and we want to help you succeed. We want to make you a large list owner so you can promote our products.
That's right. We hope to create some more products. We'd like to have joint venture partners, because that really is the best way to grow your own list and sell your product, is to work with others. And a lot of people think a joint venture partner is someone that I'll exchange my list for your list, cross-promote our products. And that is one example, but for example, these young men I'm working with in India, I'm going to have them promote a product, and that's a joint venture product. If there's something that you're not sure how to do, find someone that can help you do it and set up kind of a relationship with them, and you give them something and they'll give you something.
Yeah, for instance, if you're afraid to write sales copy, I was afraid to do that for years. You could work with someone and give them a percentage basis.
Yeah. I say examine yourself and look what your strong points are, and kind of concentrate on those. And then if there's something that you're weak in, try to find another person that you can work with that can help you on that. And maybe you can kind of trade off on things. Reed has a group in Minneapolis called Meetup Marketing Mastermind. And you could even set something up like that, and if you did, it would establish you as an expert right away. But look for those types of things. And of course, a really great resource is to get on Facebook. Reed told me about that, and there's several. Reed's got one. A group of joint venture groups. And how would be the best way to find those? Just probably search for
I'd search, say you have a Facebook account, I'd search on Facebook for joint ventures, and you should be able to find a bunch of different groups in the internet marketing circle. I have a group, currently the doors are closed on it. You can join, and when people do drop off, I do approve memberships, but I've got a backlog of quite a few right now. Basically, you just join the group, and then you can connect with a whole bunch of people. And there's probably half a dozen or more joint venture groups on Facebook.
Yeah.
I believe mine's the biggest one. It's got around 1,000 members.
Yeah. But there's a lot of them that are 200, 150, and that's a lot of people to work with. And if you think just about all of those, or I'm not sure what the percentage is, but a good number of them have a list. Mm-hmm. And if you get a number of them working with you on products.
Well, let's just say they had really small lists, and say it was like a group with 100 people, and say they had lists of just 1,000 people. That could be what, 100,000 people?
Yeah.
That you could have the potential of mailing, and that's, it's probably a lot more than that. It's probably a few million, actually, because there's a lot of people that have lists of 10, 20, 100,000 names. That's some big money they can make for you.
Yeah, I think it's so interesting how the world is so connected. We've been talking to people from Sweden and India and all over the place. So it's just an interesting experience. I guess one other tip I'd give is that I would say get on a bunch of lists and see what products are out there and what's available. Certainly participate in the giveaways, because that's a way to get on a bunch of lists. And you'll see how people are running their list, how often they send out emails, what their emails sound like, what products they're selling. And I think one thing that's really important is who's selling products for other people. Because the people that are selling products for other people are ones that you may want to contact if you have a product to sell. Mm-hmm. So that's a really good way, and what I wish I had done to start with, and what I just started a couple of days ago, is set up a spreadsheet where I have, like the date and who's the person sending out the email and who's the person he's promoting and what's the value of the product and what's the commission that's being paid. And that's information that will be really valuable if you do that once you're ready to start looking for a joint venture partner. And you maybe want to start connecting with some of those people ahead of time. One of the big mistakes is you don't want to just contact someone out of the blue and say, "Hi, I've got a product. Will you promote it for me?"
Yeah, it doesn't really work.
You want to build up a relationship, and that's where Facebook comes in, is just one way to do it. But the telephone's important. Connecting with these people is important in other ways. And as Reed told me a while back, and I didn't quite believe him, but in this business, how you connect with others is the most important part. You can make some money if you're really terrible at it, but you won't make a lot. But if you can connect well with other people and get them working to support you and you support them, that's where you can really grow your business quickly and
Definitely
have a good.
That's life changing right there.
Yeah, that's an important thing. One thing we could talk about is mindset, and that's I think there's people that just buy products, and
They're nice to have.
Yes, we like you. Thank you very much. You're our bread and butter. And we really appreciate that. But I think you're missing out on something that's really important. If you're buying a lot of products and you're not really working with any of them, I think you'd be better off if you take any product. You could pick a really crummy product and start working on it and start making some money.
Just try something.
And if it doesn't work for a few months, then you might give it up or put it on the back burner and try something else. But if you try anything and just work at it, I think you'll be surprised that it's not that difficult to make money on the internet. But of all the things Reed's tried, and he's really tried hundreds.
Tried a lot.
And if you just go on Google Reed Floren, you'll see all the things he's been in. He's talked about how to cure your bald hair.
Yes.
quite a few other things, but he's an expert on bald hair.
Oh yeah.
Rejuvenation.
That was private label rights stuff that I redid.
When he was probably in about 7th or 8th grade, or
I don't know, maybe senior year.
yeah. But it took him a while to figure out that a list was where the money is, and you can do what you want, but we'd say this is a real good shortcut.
Yeah, this is the best way to make money online is joint ventures and a list. Once you build the list, you're pretty much semi-retired. I consider myself basically retired now because of my list. So I thank you guys, and I wish you guys a happy Father's Day. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, I think we've given them a lot of information, and happy Father's Day to all of you. The only thing I'd say is if you're young and you're thinking you'd like to include your family, get your father or mother going, and vice versa if it's the other way. We want to work on our daughter, and I want to work on my wife, and pretty soon there'll be the Floren 4, and who knows?
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
So happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day. Thanks a lot.
Have a great weekend.